What's up YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about the Ancient Inheritance new season. I believe it's season 9 that is currently running. Basically, this is a guild event. If you guys are not in a guild, what are you guys doing? Please get into one ASAP, because not only are you missing out on this amazing way to get a lot of materials and gear for your account, but you also miss out on like World Boss, Guild Wars, just like a lot of stuff, especially in like the stores. So please join a guild. And as you can see, if you go to the battle page, you can see Ancient Inheritance is available, and there are a ton of great rewards, right? You have these boots perfect in the set, very nice for any debuffers that want to be tanky. This amazing penetration ring, probably one of the best penetration rings we've ever gotten in this game. Also a helmet that's torrent set. You can never have too many torrent set pieces because they're so hard to farm. If you go to the exchange store, you'll also see there's a penetration weapon that's amazing. Torrent necklace that's amazing as well, and another effectiveness chest piece, as well as a ton of other stuff. You get this restoration mana stone, which will actually give you 2 chances to roll any of these pieces because you can effectively reset it. Also get a ton of greater modification gems, covenant bookmarks, and some artifact charms, which are always welcome. And as you're actually clearing through the stages, you'll actually get a ton of gear as well. Now, pretty simple how to do this. I'll give you kind of like a rundown on what you guys want to do. I don't want to make it too complicated, but basically what you want to do is you're going to see that there are 2 leveling systems, right? So there is on the left here this exploration level system. This is basically going to affect how many units you can actually enlist from your bench or from the units that you own, and also the number of relics that you can own, which will basically buff your progression. You'll see, like, for example, one of the relics I have is I can teleport, which is going to be one of the best late game relics. And another one is like just getting extra EXP from, bags and stuff like that, or bizarre tombstones, which is one of the better early game ones to progress. But basically the left side, the exploration level, mostly going to affect the units that you can bring and not too much for combat. Now, the elemental levels are the more important levels that you need. Basically, this is going to be the strength of your units. And the way you level this is by killing or attacking monsters. So you're going to see that around the map. This is what I've explored so far. It is day 1. It just reset, so I didn't really explore. Actually, I'm the only one from my guild, I think, that's in here right now as of the recording because it just reset. But basically, you'll see like there's a light monster here, right? There's like a fire monster here. There's like an earth, right? And you'll see like dark, and also you'll see water, which I actually killed out. And basically, if you kill an element monster, what it actually does is that it will give you EXP for the stronger element against that monster type. So for example here, I'm fighting this ice monster. Every time I attack it, and when I do eventually kill it, I'll be getting only earth EXP. You can see none of my other elements are leveled, only earth. That is because I'm attacking this ice unit, or this monster, and I killed another one down here. So basically what you want to do is put all your eggs in one basket, especially for the early game. Later on, once you get to like floor 2 or 3, you can actually do a second element. But what I recommend is doing just one element, because that way you get your units as strong as possible, and you can actually, kill monsters, especially the mini bosses, with relative ease. Now, it's really up to you what you want to choose. Basically, if you're new to the game, just choose what you have the most units for. It'll probably be earth, fire, or ice. Probably ice if you're newer, because you're farming wyvern, and you mostly will have more ice units. But it really comes down to what you have. Now, it doesn't really matter what you pick, right? Just for what units you have. And you also need to know that with these units that you actually bring and enlist, you'll see I'm all earth because of course I'm stacking earth. The gear that you put on your units will only be a fraction of the stats. So you'll see that the main stat, if you look at equipment here, the main stat and substats of equipment will be adjusted at some point, while their set effects will remain intact, right? You'll also see that if you put in units, they'll automatically be 6-star awakened with maxed out, skill enhances. So even if you just have the unit, you can put them in. They're very good. All you really need to do is put them on gear, mainly for the set. You don't need crazy gear. Honestly, you can put them on very crappy gear as long as you have the set bonus, because the stats that you get from your gear are very minimal. I think it's like 15% or something, 20% or something, but the sets are going to be full value. So you really want to make sure you have all of your sets on. The gear doesn't really matter too much. Just make sure you have sets. And also you'll see you want to make sure you have the artifact, and also exclusive equipment if they have it. And artifacts will also get full value. So the best value you can get here for these units is just put all of your units on sets, even if you don't really use them, just because it'll help you out in Ancient Inheritance. The best sets are going to be sets with extra effects rather than stats, like lifesteal, counter set, torrent set, rage set are probably going to be the best ones. So definitely want to make sure you have those if you have access to them. Otherwise, a speed set, crit chance set, penetration set, will work fine. I guess penetration set is one of the better ones as well. So just make sure, you deck out your units with some sets. It doesn't really need to be crazy gear. If you have good gear, even better. And just put an artifact on them and they'll be good to go. It's very minimal investment. You just need to slap your units with whatever, unenhanced gear that you have. So any unenhanced gear will be fine as well. Even like level 44 gear, as long as you're getting the set bonus, because, level 44 health set bonus, it's still 20% health, right? It's still the same percent of bonus. So you don't really lose that much if you just, put them on just really crappy gear, even if it's from like adventure mode, just trash drops. So that being said, that's how you want to gear your units. Basically, in the early game, you'll be able to choose a relic for the first level. You want to choose, this one's good as well, Exploration Journal, you get extra XP. Probably the better ones are going to be, especially if you're new to the game, are the Tundra's Blessing, or if you're fighting units with a higher level. So for example, this is level 4, I'm currently level 3. You'll get a bonus effect and get more damage. That will actually help you out a lot in the early game. Another really good one that you can get later on is going to be Teleportation, like I mentioned. You can also get a one that will actually take down 2 hearts instead of 1 when you're fighting a monster. I actually don't really recommend that one because in the early game, you kind of want to farm experience to actually level your team. So basically, that's pretty much how the leveling system works and how the relics works. There's a ton of relics you can get, of course, in the game. It's really hard to explain all of them, but most of them will be very good. I think the best one, though, will be, especially in the late game, is Teleportation, because you can literally teleport across the map, and you're going to want to do that because it will save you on these exploration provisions, which you only get a certain amount every day, and it'll actually help you clear super, super fast. So in the early game, all you really want to do is just clear through, kind of level 1 of your elements. And then also what you want to see at the top right here is there's kind of stages to move to the next zones. First, you need to collect Ancient Dragon's Rage. That's basically just killing units, or monsters rather. So you just want to run around, kill some monsters, help your guild out, while leveling your heroes as well. Then you also will see the boss will spawn. You have to kill the boss, get it to 50%, and then Wardens will spawn. And Wardens will spawn like in the corners of the map. There's a more detailed map, I think, on the Epic 7 Reddit. But basically, Wardens will spawn after the boss gets hit to 50%. And those Wardens will be of different elements. So I believe it's fire, earth, and ice. So if you are a earth leveler like me, then you can go to the ice one and just, kill it very quickly. Preferably you want to be there before the Warden spawns and have your light and dark teams actually kill the boss. But that's like a little bit more advanced if you're more organized. But basically what you want to do is just, level up, kill the boss, kill the Wardens, boss spawns again, and then ideally if you kill the Wardens as like an earth, ice, or fire team, your light and dark teams will kill the main boss. So good way to think about it is if you're really coordinating with your guild, or you want to be very serious, hardcore about it and get as much resources as possible, you want your earth, fire, and ice teams to level up, be pre-positioned to actually kill the Wardens when they spawn, and then have your ice and light teams actually kill Destroyer Prongo on the first floor. And of course, if you kill the Wardens, you can actually go to Destroyer Prongo for the 4th level here, because the portal will spawn there. And then that way you can be extra efficient, but that's more if you're like a super hardcore guild and that is super serious about Ancient Inheritance, which my guild isn't. A lot of guilds aren't, but if you are super serious about it, that's how you do it. But yeah, definitely what I recommend in the early game. Run around, kill some stuff. You'll get these keys at the top here from leveling and also from killing monsters. You can use them to open chests to actually get loot. And you'll see these bags here you can loot to actually get, extra experience. There's also tents here to rest your units as well. There's this tombstone here, which will actually give you experience as well. And you can basically see, pretty simple, you just want to level as much as you can in the early game, so you don't get behind, right? If you do fall behind, it's kind of hard to catch up. I do believe they added that you can use these provisions now to actually level up your exploration level. But ideally, you want to be ahead of the curve. That way you can actually get as many resources as possible. That being said, you don't want to like kill all the monsters if you're over leveled, right? Like for me, I'm level 3. Honestly, I'll probably stop at level 4, even for ice, because I want my guildies to also catch up. And if you're focusing on one element, please do not just kill like random elements here and level up, pointless stuff, right? If you're leveling like a second element later on floor like 2 or 3, it does make sense, I guess. But in the early stages, if you go around killing everything, you'll actually deny your guild actually from getting levels and resources. It'll actually slow down your progression overall, which you don't want, right? The end goal is to kill all these bosses here, and then where is it? Where does it show the gear? Kill all the bosses here, and then get all the gear which I showed you earlier. And this will make it a very smooth ride, and it'll make it a lot easier. Also, you can switch out your relics later on. So if you get early game ones, it's fine. Just be aware that there will be better ones later on. I'll make another video for Ancient Inheritance a little bit down the line once we do hit like about halfway through, because I don't think making one every day is actually a good idea. because probably all you're going to do is just farm, kill the wardens like I said, and then, kill the boss. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Ancient Inheritance though, guys. Pretty simple. Just make sure you focus on one element here. Really up to you. I went for Earth just because. And then also, make sure you choose your relics wisely. Try to level up as soon as you can. Probably around level 4, you'll be fine for floor 1. And then of course, for your units here, you want to make sure that you actually put them on sets at the very least, and put them on an artifact. And it doesn't matter about their level or awakening. They'll be maxed out when you actually put them into your team. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Ancient Inheritance, guys. If you guys have any other tips for other players, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next video.